All right, well, thank you all for attending. I'd like to thank Accelerate Kentucky for the opportunity to participate in the MIT REAP program. I got the opportunity to represent the Risk Capital Group the last little bit for the program, and it was an amazing program. Share a little bit about me. So I'm originally from Grayson County, Kentucky, which is about 26 miles northeast of here. I live in Louisville. I identify as an entrepreneur. I was blessed to be involved in startups and starting businesses. Been doing that for 30 years here in Kentucky. I've also had the opportunity to do business in Israel, Cambodia, Vietnam, Italy. So I've had the opportunity to go and see a lot of different places and see how businesses and entrepreneurial innovations are commercialized in different places. And I'm passionate about my faith, science and technology, entrepreneurism, and the outdoors. And I actually studied physics, mathematics, and Russian language right here at Western Kentucky University and at the Leningrad Polytechnic Institute. So I've been able to do some things that I'm fairly proud of. Kentucky, I'm here by choice, as probably most of us in this room are. My family's from Kentucky, and I've been able to do some really cool things. And in 2005, I was able to start a company called Kentucky Bioprocessing. And at Kentucky Bioprocessing, we use tobacco as an expression system to produce therapeutic proteins and drugs. And one of the things we were able to do is I actually recruited the scientific team that developed the first vaccine for Ebola that was effective post-exposure. And we actually used this in an emergency situation to save the lives of American healthcare workers that were exposed to Ebola in 2014. How many in here have heard about that company? Okay, great. Tony had mentioned storytelling, and storytelling is so important because we can do really innovative and cool things here in Kentucky. It happens. How many entrepreneurs in the room? Okay, all right, we've got a few. And how many investors who invest in early stage companies? All right, excellent. We have a few. Well, we identified a problem. And one of the problems is that if you ask 20 different entrepreneurs where they go for their resources and for connecting to find things, you'll get 20 different answers. If you ask investors, where are you going to go to find that deal flow? You'll get a bunch of different answers. No one has captured that brand for that place to be able to go to and find resources. So is the internet the answer? The internet's part of the problem now, right? We have access to all of this information, but how do we find the right information? How do we find that information that's truly helpful? How do we weed out the signal from the noise? So we've invested in a platform called Konexons, and we want to become a digital platform where entrepreneurs, investors, and those who support entrepreneurs can come together, find the resources that they need, and connect. And yes, it's connections. So the message of Accelerate Kentucky resonates with what we want to try to do. So our mission is to become the leading resource for the development and discovery of world-class innovations by serving entrepreneurs and investors. Now, here's the really big challenge for us, okay? We want to create a platform where we're bringing entrepreneurs and investors together and bringing them back. That's the challenge, all right? And having them interact so now investors can find these amazing innovations and entrepreneurs can find resources, not only the money, because it's not just about the money when it comes to building entrepreneurial companies, but also finding those other resources that they need. So where are we? So we're developing a minimally viable product. Those of you that registered for this event, you did it through Konexons. You probably noticed that we've got some rough edges. How many here know what a minimally viable product is? All right, it means you touch it and something breaks, right? That's what we're doing. We're trying to build a minimally viable product, but to demonstrate a platform where we can bring these two different groups together. And we've been working with Accelerate Kentucky, we're working with cities, universities, angel investor groups, and venture capital groups to establish community portals. Now, we've talked a lot about connecting. We're really trying to work on a platform where we can connect people. So on Konexons, we have areas where you can manage events, the networking, where you can connect, opportunities. This is where the companies can go and post their There are opportunities, the finance section where entrepreneurs can find the investors, and then goals where we teach entrepreneurs and individuals how to set their goals. Now, I want to talk with you a little bit about the community portal. If you look at ecosystem building tools that are out there, most of them are closed box systems, right? So you get to build your entrepreneurial ecosystem, but you never touch anyone else's. With Konexons, we're building different community portals. So this is the Kentucky portal that is managed by Accelerate Kentucky. And now you'll see we have a place for community news, a community discussion, upcoming events, the most active community, so we're connecting with other communities now. Mentors, how do you connect with mentors in the community? And then what are the other active resources that are in the community? How can you connect those, the community members? And then finally, what are the startups? What are the companies in your community? Now, I want to focus on this because, again, what is a community, right? Well, we've got the Kentucky community. What are all of the resources in Kentucky? We want to be able to drill down. So now we can go into the Louisville community, which then has communities within it. So we can connect people, connect different entities, and as an entrepreneur, I can come into the state, find out what the state resources are, but then drill into different communities to see what the more local communities are. So for entrepreneurs, we have lists of resources. We also provide the ability to rate those resources. What was your experience with the resource? Did you have a good experience? Did you have a bad experience? Now this is the challenge, all right? We're looking at climbing a very, very steep mountain here because what we want is interaction. There's lots of platforms out there where an entrepreneur will go, they'll dump their information because the investor has asked them to go dump their information, and they'll never come back to it. We want to design and build a dynamic platform where people are coming back to it, and investors are coming to it to see the new deals that are coming through, and the entrepreneurs are coming back to it because there's resources. It's dynamic. Now they can see what other entrepreneurs have done and how it's helped them. And then for the investors, how do you find those deals? What are the areas you're interested in? There's a lot, again, information overload. We live in the day of information overload, right? You can go out and find companies. You'll find a dozen different lists that are redundant, that some will have lists that companies that aren't on the other lists. We want to be a place where you can go and see the deal flow. So as an investor now, if you're entering, and one of the challenges, so we have an angel investor network. We have groups in Louisville, we have groups in Knoxville and Nashville. And one of the challenges with angel groups is that if the entrepreneur is not curated in to pitch the investors don't know anything about the other companies that they might have had a very strong interest in. I'll give you an example. We brought a group of investors in. I had 6 companies. Those 6 companies presented, and they were interested in one company. And on my list, it was about number 5. I was shocked that they were interested in that company. But that just goes to show that what interests me might not interest the other investors. So what we want to be able to do is provide a gateway. So now if you say, you know what, I'm interested in advanced materials, as an investor, you can actually get that notification then that someone with advanced materials company has actually applied. So now you'll be able to see all of the applicants. We think that's really important. Easy to find information about the company, what they're looking for. And then a few facts. We're developing a freemium model, free to post a company, free to register a resource, and then we'll offer premium services. So the question, can we do this in Kentucky, right? Now, I'm not an expert, right? Because to be an expert, you have to have traveled 500 miles and have to have a PowerPoint. I meet half of the requirements, okay? I have a PowerPoint, all right? I'm from Kentucky. Well, why does this guy in Kentucky think that he can do it? Well, I tell you, guys from Ohio, Michigan, Massachusetts, they've been able to do things that change the world. And with Tony Ellis, I absolutely agree. We have the opportunity in this state to do amazing things. There's incredible things going on out there. We've got to connect them together. And so we do. We have the opportunity to make those changes. So we can do it here in Kentucky. I want to do it with Konexons. There's lots of people here that have amazing ideas in this state that can have a huge impact, not only on Kentucky, but the entire world. So I have an ask for you. Please take a look at Konexons, fill out your profile, list resources, provide us feedback. Let us know what's working. Let us know what's not working. That's probably more important. And then collaborate with us. We want to work together to create this network, a platform where people can connect.